This video is brought to you by Where is the fucking lamb sauce? Go to whereisthefuckinglambsauce.bigcartel.com or click the link in the description. It was a cold November night in 1971 and the streets of English town of Stratford-upon-Avon were silent. The dim glow of street lamps cast long shadows on cobblestone paths as a 15-year-old boy was running away from his home. As he sprinted through the narrow alleys, his breath was made visible by the chilly air. The world doesn't know it yet, but this little kid was going to change the culinary world as we knew it. This kid was Gordon Ramsay, the only guy who tells women to get out of the kitchen. Tandrate who? Gordon Ramsay is the real top G. He is the Sigma. It was one of these nights falling down the Gordon Ramsay rabbit hole. And oh boy, did I fall down the Gordon Ramsay rabbit hole.
Why did you kill me, Gordon?
I found out that he is the guy who can make idiot sandwiches.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Can shove whole pumpkins up people's bumhole.
I just want more pumpkin, that's all I want. Right, well I'll get you more pumpkin, I'll ram it right up your fucking ass. Would you like it whole or diced?
The guy who can turn normal kitchen arguments into modern warfare. Nobody, absolutely nobody, Gordon Ramsay when you burn the food. You see Gordon looking at the chef and you're half expecting him to go,
If you saute scallops in a non-stick pan, they won't stick! That's why it's called fucking non-stick!
and the other half you can feel the innocence coming off his voice in waves as he says this.
For that table!
Chef, I feel like I had that fish down for like 10 minutes. I don't know.
You're blaming the fish.
The gall of this woman blaming the fish like that. That fish was family, you know. You should be ashamed. Kill her. Anyways, coming back to why was Gordon running away from his home on that winter night? To answer that, we need to go back to the origins of Gordon James Ramsay was a savage from the second he was born.
You're pulling my plonker now, aren't you?
He spent most of his childhood in Stratford-upon-Avon, which, funny enough, is the birthplace of Shakespeare. Spending all this time in Shakespeare's hometown definitely rubbed off on Ramsay, cause we all know how sophisticated he is. Here are some Gordon Ramsay quotes that live in my head rent-free. Jamie, you're first class cunt. Let's give a round of applause here to the captain of the fucking Titanic. Crab on top of crab on top of crab on top of crab on top of crab. Absolute poetry. Although the town he lived in was nice, his childhood was anything but. His father was an alcoholic with anger issues, and in Gordon's own words, his father's favorite punishment was the belt. Imagine going to the fridge and you accidentally drink his cola and you feel a sharp pain on the back of your legs. Getting beat up for doing something as innocent as having a drink at the wrong time. And his violence was not limited to Gordon and his siblings. He often lashed out at their mother. Helen and her children had to live in constant fear. Also, a very weird detail, when you search up Gordon Ramsay's siblings on Google, his sister Diane Ramsay looks awfully familiar. So from a young age, Gordon spent most of his time outside the house to get away from all the negativity, and that is where he found football. Gordon spent most of his teenage years on the football pitch because going home was not something he liked. He was always looking for an excuse to get out of the house, to run away from it all. And that takes us back all the way to the chilly winter night of 1981. When he returned late to the house and his father was screaming at his mother. His late arrival only added fuel to the fire. Gordon's mum had bought him a radio for his 16th birthday and he really loved it. First, his dad came out and just stared at him from the top of the stairs. And then he grabbed Gordon's radio, the birthday gift he had cherished so much, and threw it down at him. Luckily, he was able to dodge the heavy radio, but he watched as it fell down on the ground, shattering into a million pieces, right in front of his eyes. And then his father rushed down the stairs, eyes fixed on Gordon, glaring at him with anger and alcohol in his eyes. One look, and Gordon knew that this time, he really might kill him. And he did the only thing that he knew he could do. The only thing he had been doing for all his teenage years. He ran out of the house and into the cold night. So there he was, alone, broke, angry, So he applied to be in the military. Rejected. The police. One college. Two college. So he didn't got into anything and lived the sad life and the end. Thank you so much for watching, guys. He didn't got into any colleges that he wanted, but he got into a management college in a cooking course. I mean, it says a lot about society when one of the most famous chefs ever didn't actually wanted to be a chef at first. At the end, does it even matter what I wrote in that I want to be this when I grow up essay as a kid? No matter how hard I try, I'm never going to become an air hostess. Anywho, Gordon didn't actually wanted to be a chef at first, but once he took his first cooking class, he fell in love with cooking. But something he loved even more was his boss's wife. Yes, you heard that right. While working at Wickham Arms in London, Gordon started a sexual relationship with the owner's wife. And I love that now there is a line on the Gordon Ramsay wiki that just says he ran the kitchen and 68 dining room at Wickham Arms until he quit after having sex with the owner's wife. I don't know why that line makes me imagine like Gordon had done the deed and then he says, I quit. And then he just walks out the door. And the restaurant just explodes behind him. But that experience, the cooking experience, made him land a job with Marco Pierre White. And all you need to know about the old MPW is that he said this.
No, I didn't make Gordon Ramsay cry. He made himself cry. That was his choice to cry.
He was the first cook in history to return his Michelin stars. The absolute madman. Also about Michelin stars, they are given by the Michelin Guide. So 1 star means high quality cooking, worth a stop. 2 star means excellent cooking, worth a detour. And 3 stars means exceptional cuisine, worth its own special journey. And our MPW had 3 Michelin stars, and that is like the highest honor you can get in the cooking world, and he just gave it away. So in conclusion, if you thought Gordon Ramsay was bad, Marco Pierre White is. In the 1988 documentary Marco, you see Gordon Ramsay working beside Marco Pierre White, and it's not far-fetched to say that this is where Gordon learned a lot. In that small kitchen at Harvey's in Wandsworth, London, a star was made. From there, he worked in Paris, worked at a ski resort in French Alps, worked as a private chef on a yacht, traveled to Italy, where he learned Italian cuisine. Basically, Gordon's culinary knowledge transcends even the Britain's national borders, spreading all over the world like a virus. That is not a good analogy, but we move. But years later, when he returned back to London, an old face re-entered his life. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's old MPW with a trade offer. You become head chef, you get 10% share in Rossmore.
Yes.
And the restaurant was renamed to Aubergine. And within 14 months, Gordon had 2 Michelin stars on this brand new restaurant. He was so close to his goal of 3 when the restaurant owners wanted to make it a chain. But that is impossible. You can't replicate fine dining on a chain level. And the owners said. So after many arguments and legal battles, Gordon left Aubergine for good. He still says that leaving that place and setting out on his own was the best decision of his life. And it really says something that when he left that place, all of his staff left with him. So he opened his own restaurant. Restaurant Gordon fucking Ramsay. The fucking is not in there, but I put it there anywhere. I don't know what I'm saying. A new restaurant paired with a TV documentary was the perfect storm, and Ramsay's boiling point was success. When he left his cushy job and set out on his own, he was the most talked about chef in the entire country. And on the first night of service in his own restaurant, which has his name on the door, which means his reputation is at stake, on the first night there, the kitchen exhaust fan broke, rising the temperature in the kitchen to a searing 138 degrees Celsius. And even in that heat, while being boiled alive, Gordon and his crew kept on going. There's a scene where Gordon Ramsay comes out of the restaurant and he says, "We have to keep coming out once in a while to escape from the heat. Otherwise, there are going to be a few casualties. And he just laughs it off. No wonder this guy has 3 Michelin stars. Say what you want about Gordon Ramsay, but he works like a madman. You don't get to a top without being that tenacious. And that is why he holds his star to such a high standard. Okay, I'm 18 minutes into a documentary and just fired a dude for drinking water in front of the customers. Like, the fuck, man. Look at this guy. He looks so sad. He looks so sad. What? Why? And after all of that, months of hard work, 10 services, many sleepless nights, he had done it. Gordon James Ramsay accomplished the highest feat in the culinary world. He got his 3rd Michelin star, and from there, the rise of Gordon Ramsay was unstoppable. He opened restaurant after restaurant, starred in his own TV shows. Kitchen Nightmares UK saw him going to failing food joints and try to turn them around in 1 week. Unlike Boiling Point, this showed a much more humble side of him, as he really tries to help these restaurants. And then he did Hell's Kitchen, where he took 10 British celebrities and tried to make them chefs. But when he was working his way up the ladder, someone was watching from the shadows. They saw Hell's Kitchen and said, what this show really needs is freedom. So they made a US version of it. I'm just kidding, it goes more like this.
Where's the halibut? Hey, Blue, I'm calling out orders. You're confused, and you're fucking on the end of your dick.
What did he say?
Listen to what's going, to what's coming on order, to what's being fucking. Listen! Hey, look, there you go. That's Whistler for you. No, chef. Yeah? That's the Ramsay restaurant in Whistler, yes? Fuck off, will you?
Kitchen Nightmares and Hell's Kitchen US were an instant success. Gordon was now the 35th highest paid celebrity in the entire world. That's above both Rihanna and Kevin Hart. What could possibly go wrong now? Okay, it's 3 AM. I was going through Gordon Ramsay videos as usual for research purposes, and I found this. A Gordon Ramsay ARG. Those are 3 words I thought I'd never say in the same sentence together. So the Gordon Ramsay ARG, still feels fair to say that. So the Gordon Ramsay ARG has 5 videos in it. Return, Gone But Not Forgotten.mp4, ChefMike.exe, Do Not Watch.mmm, and Birth of the Universe. And it revolves around the only death that ever happened on Kitchen Nightmares. In Season 5 Episode 10 of Kitchen Nightmares, the El Greco episode, when Gordon arrives at the restaurant, he learns that there's a certain chef who cooks all the food in the restaurant. He was impressed at the hardworking chef, but there was only one problem. The chef was shit at it. So Gordon tried to reform the restaurant, like usual. But there was arguing, people got upset, and at last, it was clear that for El Greco to work, a sacrifice had to be made. Someone needed to die. Chef Mike jumped off the 3rd floor window. He died on the spot. Who was Chef Mike, you ask? He was a f***ing microwave maid. Gordon Ramsay chucked him out of the 3rd floor window. Gordon Ramsay has blood on his hands. And the Gordon Ramsay ARG revolves around the return of Chef Mike, the microwave. And I don't know why I just turned British there for a second. What the fuck? Anyways, in conclusion, this ARG is very good and you should check it out. If you want the hardcore route, it's hidden in this video somewhere. Or if you want the easy route, then it's linked down in the description. So far in this video, we have seen Gordon screaming at people, people screaming back at Gordon, people even trying to slap Gordon at one point. But what happens when an argument between Gordon and someone goes sexual? And this is by far my favorite Gordon Ramsay interaction with any chef ever.
Have you cooked mussels before? No. You're pulling my plonker now, aren't you? You've never cooked a mussel?
Nope. Alright, we can shout or you can fucking help, I don't mind.
What do you mean I can help?
Eh?
What have we been doing for the last...
Yeah, okay, fine, you're right, sorry.
What have we been doing for the last 2 hours?
Fine, so what are we wanting here?
I'm just amazed you've never cooked a mussel.
I haven't. Don't take the piss out of me for it, though.
Who's taking the piss?
You are.
I don't think you can actually cook.
If you'd have fucking talked to me...
If you can't cook a mussel...
You have fucking
yes.
talked to me... Yeah. Hey?
Go on.
Yeah.
Finish it then.
Finish what?
What are you about to say?
What am I about to say?
Cook a mussel.
No, I haven't cooked one.
Right. Okay.
Right.
So shall I show you how to cook a mussel?
Oh, at last, thank you. Yes, please.
Right. Are you going to tone your voice down or are you
Yes.
going to shout like some dick?
I'll shout like some dick and then I'll calm down.
Right.
Now I've shouted.
Well, why don't you off to the bookshop, read how to cook a mussel and come back and see me?
Yeah.
And I'll run your restaurant.
Thank you.
Plonker.
Twat.
Fucking hell, what's all that about? Jesus Christ, well at least we broke the ice now anyway, we know where we stand. Yeah?
Okay, now that we have talked all about the guy who makes all the food,
Yeah?
let's talk about the guy who eats all the food. Queso.
Shrimp Alfredo.
Who is a Twitch streamer who gave me a heart attack in my kidney. Check out my new video about him. Also, look at this. Smash the like button. Oh, the like button just glowed. Hey. Now, watch this again. Watch the subscribe button. Watch the subscribe button. Smash the subscribe button. Oh! I also have to end out this video now, guys, cause my phone is running out of space, and obviously I'm editing this on a phone because what do you think? I was rich? No, I'm broke as fuck. Also, 1 like is equal to 1 editing PC for me, and usually at the end of these videos, I scream. Ah!